Hello and welcome to the All Night Gamers podcast. It's Mario Week, everyone. We're glad to have you here with us. There's so much Mario stuff to go over that we might just pass out from it. I've got a big crowd with me this week. We got the usuals, Cameron and Cooper.
Hello.
Yo.
Along with Alex from last week.
Hey.
And a newcomer, Mayo.
Well, hi there.
We got a ton of Mario stuff. I'm sure everyone saw from the Direct last week. 3D All-Stars coming to Switch. Super Mario All-Stars is now available for SNES Online. In the meantime, we got a port of Mario 3D World, plus some new content and new amiibo coming early next year. Mario Kart Live, the new AR Mario Kart, Mario Kart Tour characters, Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch, Super Mario 35. I gotta catch my breath. There's Super Mario pins you can get through My Nintendo. We'll stop here for Collector's Corner, then we'll get right back into the rest of the Mario stuff. We got a new Splatfest coming that's Mario themed. We got a couple crossovers to talk about that's coming, like the Mario and Puma shoes and whatnot. And we'll end on some a new Joy-Con patent. So with no time to waste, let's get right into it. We'll start with the 3D All-Stars. So we got a collection of 3 games for Nintendo Switch coming out in just under 2 weeks. Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, with Galaxy 2 missing. Now the big discussion I want to have here with you guys is, does Galaxy 2 missing bother you? Fight.
No.
Kind of.
No.
Not really. I don't
No.
care. I'm happy we got the 3.
I never played it, so I'm biased. You know which of these games I care about the most.
Yeah. We're all here for Sunshine, let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very
Galaxy
excited about
2
Galaxy, but like,
Is the better Galaxy game, so I'm a little annoyed that it's not
I
there.
agree with you, and the reason I agree is because they already had to overhaul their controls for Galaxy 1. So, in theory, it wouldn't be that much additional work.
Right, because I'm pretty
It's
sure they're the
Yoshi
same
level.
engine. Yeah, I think you're right, Cameron. It's got to be related to...
Like there's no easy way to tell how much actual testing went into the ports, but that's the only major difference. So I'm just gonna assume that Galaxy 2, something with the way Yoshi controls, did not transition very well, if they even tested it.
Nah, bro.
Or they were just going with these 3. They could always figure it out, though, and port it later.
I'm
Nah, bro.
definitely not against the theory that people have had so far that if, they may have a DLC for it in the works.
Okay, Cooper, say what you want to say, and I've got something for that.
Alright.
If
Nah,
I
bro.
said Cooper.
You know why Galaxy 2 isn't coming? It's because of that fat Luma guy.
Oh,
That'll
Lubba?
show. Yeah, that guy. All my homies hate Lubba.
Dude, how can you not love Lubba, dude? He's such a thug.
He's fat.
Dude.
Well, so are all of us. What does it matter?
I hate y'all too.
I am not that, but also, as someone who has not played Galaxy 2, I'm very confused about multiple sentences that were just said by all of you.
Okay, so in Galaxy 2, it's a lot more linear, right? You have the
you're
Mario
moving the ship
ship.
around.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the guy
All the
that
linear.
the guy that runs the ship, captain, is a Luma, but he's super big and he wears pants. And his name is Lubba.
God.
And I love him because when I watched the completionist review of Galaxy 2, his New Game Plus or something, he put the Notorious B.I.G. music with him and made him super thug. And ever since then, I've just absolutely loved Lubba as a character. But
Oh my gosh. Why give him pants if he's gonna stretch them like that?
well, they make pretty big pants these days.
I'm not gonna fight it.
Man.
Now, I initially did have that thought that you said earlier about Galaxy 2 having DLC, and the reason I know that's not going to happen is because well, at least until they eventually decide that it will not be a limited release.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea why they're doing that other than to stir up hype, because it's encouraging a secondhand physical market, and it's really
Like,
going to
their stuff
suck for.
doesn't already.
Yeah, I mean, true. Like, they're just further digging this hole, and not only that, but it's like really going to suck, like, for people who get a Switch after March 31st of next year, because you're not going to be able to buy it on the eShop, and to get a physical copy, if this market acts like it always does, and you have to pay $250 for the 3D All Stars because they made it a limited release for no reason, then like that's just, I don't know. It's discouraging, really.
I have a couple opinions on this. I actually think that the collected together edition will be the limited release, but then they'll release
All three.
all three separately.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's what they
For,
should.
like,
Though.
what price tag?
Yeah, that price tag's gonna be wild.
Like
Well-
$20 each? I could not picture them selling something like that for just $20 each.
Well,
It's hard to say because the Wii U got 64 and Galaxy on the eShop, and those 64 was 10, and I think Galaxy was 20.
yeah, Galaxy was 20
So-
because they went with the selects price for it.
Those also weren't upscaled like these are, right?
Yeah, they were just ports. Like the Wii
Yeah.
was the direct Wii version. It would be the same as if you put the disc in, and then 64 was just a virtual console.
I guess it does depend on how good the changes look, and then how well they've adapted the controls. Because if it sucks, then no one's gonna want to pay just as much as they would have on the Wii U for like Galaxy or whatever. I don't think it will suck, but
Yeah. Now, my ideal situation for this would be, it's a $40 title for the bundle, and if you don't want to buy all three, like say you just really don't have an interest in Galaxy, or you don't have an interest in 64 or whatever, if you buy one, because they've done this before, if you buy one, then the other games for you will be discounted. So if it was a $40 title, then you could charge $20 for the first one, and then the other two would be $10.
Ooh.
But
I mean, yeah,
obviously that's not happening. And now that, I mean, that's only, we got like what, 6 months of availability to purchase, at least digitally. Physically, God knows what. But
Day one.
yeah, pretty much like week one at most.
yeah, like
It's already the best seller on Amazon.
Yeah, I
Really?
mean, of course it is.
I mean,
Well,
the
like
best seller
like you were
technically.
saying, where the people who get the Switches next year aren't going to get it. Screw that. Even the people who get them in the holiday, if they want the physical release, absolutely no
You-
chance.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to be
yeah.
aware of it releasing.
Yeah, unless they do like a big like second wave shipment for them for like Black Friday. But even then, people might expect it on Black Friday, and then next day by Cyber Monday, those are all gone.
Man.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want it, pre-order it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I feel like there's a pretty small margin, because people that would really care specifically about the physical will most likely be people like us who can't help themselves and buy everything that they throw at us, or if they're
They'll get the
hell-bent on it.
digital.
Yeah, and if they don't have a Switch but they're very bent on getting this physical, then they will go ahead and buy it now.
Or if they want it later, they'd buy it digitally on the eShop.
Yeah,
Before-
and if they don't care about the physical, then that's just the rest of the people. Because a lot of people do very heavy digital stuff, especially because SD cards are so cheap.
I'm a little worried about stock numbers, but it's also Mario. If it was like, oh, it's Metroid Prime collected together, but it's limited release, then there might be stock issues. But while there will probably be stock issues because it's announced as a limited release,
Ye-
the Mario part should help Nintendo alleviate a little of that.
yeah,
The other thing is, and I know that assuming that Nintendo will do a smart thing in any given situation is not always the best plan, but this has been leaked since like when people could go outside to go to work, you know. So Nintendo has to have at least seen some of the buzz around this, and you'd hope that they would release enough to, at least in their eyes, work with that.
Well, Nintendo knows. They know. I mean, people
Sunshine
have wanted,
alone.
Yeah, people have wanted this since even the Wii U era in small numbers. But really, once the Switch came out, that was immediately a desire. People were like, "Wouldn't that be so cool?" And then rumors came out around the time that the rumors of the new Switch models, which did happen, were going to be a thing.
Half of it happened.
Yeah, well, it happened, just not what people thought.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's like and again, it's Mario. Like, that's the number one thing. Nintendo's building a theme park all about Mario. Like,
it's supposed to be Nintendo Land, and it's just Mario Land.
It's like 80% Mario. Now, back to the Metroid thing, I could understand actually if Metroid was a limited release, because as much as people say everybody loves Metroid, the numbers
It's not true.
As much as people act like Metroid is the third pillar of Nintendo, it's
ain't.
not.
It's Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, kind of.
Pokemon, if you want to kind of count
If you count
Game
it.
Freak being owned, but I honestly say like Animal Crossing's probably up there.
Well,
Like, not even including New Horizons. Animal Crossing is a top 5 game on every system it's released except for the Wii. Well,
It
might have been-
depends on how
What are
you count
saying
it.
now?
Pokemon's an exclusive, so it should count. But if you don't count it for whatever reason, it's
That's
definitely Animal Crossing.
Objection.
I've actually got
third
two opinions.
I'll go ahead.
Oh God, we upset.
Um,
Oh,
The
no.
third best is actually going to be Kirby. It's going to be Mario, Link, and then Kirby.
No, it's not.
I'm a home
Uh,
Animal Crossing.
I
we've-
wouldn't say Kirby is up there.
We've
You're
actually
wrong.
brought up two things, but we moved past them that I wanted to go back to. The first is, you brought up how Sunshine's super popular, and Nintendo knows this. I would hope they know it. The fans got them to bring in the Sunshine suit to Odyssey because of so much begging for it after it wasn't included in the initial release.
Well, yeah. I mean, the
That
thing
is
is,
true.
right now we're in the height of the GameCube nostalgia era. So of course,
Yep.
the Sunshine's going to be the one everyone's begging for. It. Super Mario 64 was like 10 years ago, and they got Super Mario 64 DS.
That was my other point.
And and
Was,
Galaxy, the Wii hasn't hit its stride yet. It's still with the PS3 and the 360. No one really cares about those at the moment.
Was about the DLC. If they did it, then I think the DS stuff would be DLC for 64.
Yeah. And,
Okay, I just want to point something
Yeah.
out before we continue. I looked up the Wii sales. Animal Crossing is 21st
Mm-hmm.
behind Zelda, Mario, mostly Mario games, and the actual Wii titles. Kirby is down here at 38th behind Epic Mickey.
That's because let me explain. That's because no one owned the Wii back then.
Well,
Wait.
it's also like
Did you guys hear this, man?
it can't jump ahead if Nintendo doesn't release like
Anything.
the games that people want them to release for
Kirby
it,
Air Ride.
Kirby 64.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Kirby Air Ride.
here's
They
basically my
did
final
on the
point of this
Wii.
discussion. Now that the Sunshine remaster port whatever is here, I can start whining about the remaster that I really need in my life, which is Air Ride.
Hell yeah.
I kind
Both
of want
Fire
a
Emblem.
sequel more though, but like with the included stuff from the original. Like,
Yes.
so I guess in the,
I hate to break your heart that Nintendo has changed what Kirby is the same way that they changed what Paper Mario is. Not like from the same type of game to the same type of game, but like Kirby has become way more of a younger child game. Like
that's what
That
he's
is
always
true.
been in Japan though.
yeah,
Yeah.
Here
facts.
they were like angry face, but Japan's always been the happy-go-lucky little kid
What
that
was
he is.
what was the Kirby game that released on Switch first, like early in the life cycle?
Our allies.
Star
Yeah.
Allies, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that because I hadn't played a Kirby game in a while. I hadn't, really been into it, and it's just so. Excuse me. It was just so easy.
Try the harder stuff they added later, though.
Yeah, I mean, true, but like they want it to be easier, and then they also made like the mobile.
Kirby,
Super-
Clash,
Yeah, Clash something.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
it has amiibo support because it's the same engine.
Oh,
I mean,
Super
it's
Kirby
also
Clash.
hard to make a platforming game where the character can fly forever hard, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, true. But yeah,
to
I
be
really hate.
fair-
I mean, I would love to see an Air Ride Roadmaster. I'd love to see any GameCube game put on the Switch. I mean, I'm right up there with you, but it's just I really don't want to break your heart, but that would be on the lower list. There's so many other, especially if they're going to do GameCube remasters. There's so many other things I think they would.
I
hit
think there's a
first.
better chance for.
You mean like Nightfire?
No, not that.
Yeah,
I think there's
okay.
a better chance for the Fire Emblem games,
Dude,
Yeah,
I hope.
like both of Ike's games, to get on before Air Ride does.
Radiant Dawn, dude. Ooh.
Plus, like like Smash, and like
No, they're not porting Smash.
I think
Well-
they will. The second they port
That'd be
Melee,
hilarious.
or if they port Brawl, they'd have to port Melee, and if they port Melee, people stop playing Ultimate because that Melee crowd just moves on to newer hardware.
Will they move over to it
The-
since you can play? I don't know the name of the online for it, but the online NetPlay.
Yes.
NetPlay is
Yes, they'll move over. Because
You
they're
think-
look, yes, because they're sick of carrying around CCTVs.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I will say I just looked up a thing that was like, what are Nintendo's most valuable franchises? And if you count Pokemon, then it's definitely Mario, Pokemon, Zelda. If you count Mario and other things spin-offs, then
It's just Mario.
then Mario and then Pokemon spin-offs and then like Smash and Mario Party, but also the case could be made for Donkey Kong.
If you're
It's an interesting one.
a platformer person, Donkey Kong is up there.
I mean, Nintendo's kept that balance well. They're like, Donkey Kong's our super hard one, and Mario's about even. and Kirby's the
Mario's
easy
are
one.
everyone in Kirby. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Now,
Except 100% in Kirby. Then you've got an actual challenge in your hands, because they designed it for
Older
that.
people.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, Odyssey was also pretty easy.
yeah,
You tried
yeah.
100% Odyssey.
Well, not 100%ing it, but just beating it.
In general.
Well, like a little bit of let's be real. A lot of 100%ing Odyssey was just grinding coins so you could buy a bunch of moons.
Well, but
That
then
last
also-
level's
and then-
pretty brutal, though.
Those
Yeah.
really hard platforming, it's like with all the hat trick, because like a kid
Mm-hmm.
can grasp the hat physics and the ways of moving, but it takes a lot of effort to be like, okay, I need to practice this exact set of inputs in this exact direction, or else I cannot get to this move. And 100%.
That's what I was thinking about that final level. That would be kind of brutal on kids. Like the final level on Galaxy 2, where it had a comet star that gave you one life on one hit.
Yeah, but to
Oh,
be
dude,
fair,
all
also
those
grinding in Odyssey is fun. Like they made I can't say the same for Kirby. Like if I had to grind levels in Kirby, I would not. I would just not. But in Odyssey, it's a lot more. The platforming is just so intriguing on its own that it's more acceptable to do that.
Well, with I had to get the footage for a video recently. So with Star Allies, at least 100%ing includes the little picture frames, but you can amiibo those.
Oh.
So it's like
Mm.
it speeds it up a lot compared to grinding for like every single one in one level.
So do 100% speedruns of that require you to be a freak that buys every amiibo?
Probably not.
Well, then
Probably
he's
not.
good.
Well, at
actually,
minimum, you just do go to Etsy, buy the NFC reprint.
Yeah.
If you really care,
Gross.
and you don't, but you don't care enough to spend the money on the amiibo itself.
What
And-
kind of trash person would do that?
Heyo, it's me.
Disgusting.
Okay, well, we're a little off track here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's spun off. Yeah, sorry, we can't contain ourselves. So on the All Stars track, the original All Stars is available on SNES Online to play. I've actually been playing that, and I have to say, I really enjoy Mario, all of them except for the original and the Lost Levels, because they changed the physics way too much for it to make sense. Because it feels like you're playing Mario 3, but without the ability to fly. Like, there's a lot more momentum built into it than in the original game, and I find it very enjoyable. I was just playing that last night, actually. I was curious. I'd never played the All-Stars redo of it, and, I mean, it looks great, and the music is good, but the physics just doesn't feel right.
It's the wrong engine.
Yeah.
I've not played the remakes either, but I really don't like a lot of the physics on the original one. That might be a hot take, but, like, I do think that it feels a bit clunky, and I've never played Lost Levels in general, so I should probably play that.
Well, I agree with you that the physics aren't amazing in the first NES one, but I'm so used to how they feel.
That's fair.
Because everyone's
Playing them with anything else feels wrong.
I think that would have been the problem if Nintendo had actually done like a full remake of
Well, if they'd done a
for
full
the
remake,
3D All Stars.
it would require 3 different engines, because nobody's going to be happy if it was...
Well, I don't know if it would require 3. It would require at least 2, because Sunshine and Galaxy, there's not a lot of crossover, but Galaxy and 64 have a lot of the same moves, just not with... Or just Galaxy adds more.
Sunshine has the triple jump, and... No, 64 had the triple jump, and Sunshine does not.
Well, and then Galaxy also has to program in, like, mass gravity.
And
Right. It's just easier to be like, here's the... Unless they were gonna... If they remade all of them, then they'd all be 60, versus let's just upscale them and port them as 60 for a limited time.
yeah, I don't think
I wish they'd upscaled 64 more.
there's no way that you could do 3D All Stars and make everyone happy, because there's a camp of people that want what they did,
The original.
which is exactly how they looked, but with 16:9 support and better frame rates and new controls. But there's the other camp that wants HD remakes. Like, they don't want 64 to look like 64. They want it to look like Odyssey or Galaxy, but placed in the 64 canon.
That would just... We see kind of what that looks like in Odyssey.
Well, y'all remember, like, 4 years ago, someone put out a Unity remake of the Bob-omb Battlefield HD remake, and it looked
Show
great.
off their jumping thingy.
Yeah,
And there was the Unreal Engine Delfino Plaza.
yeah, and it looks great, but when you do that, now you're going to get the people who want it to stay as it is upset. So I think they hit an okay medium of they did the better frame rate, higher resolution, 16:9 widescreen native. That was the biggest thing. And you go ahead.
The biggest thing was definitely the music, though.
What do you like HD music?
No, there's like 180 songs on that player.
Yeah, all the music.
Which, I mean, well, people aren't going to factor into the price. There's not a lot of ways to get Nintendo's music legally.
Yeah, they need to put it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like, that is...
Capcom has. With a lot of
Exactly,
their
why
own
doesn't
music.
Nintendo do it?
There's
'Cause
even, like... There's a very huge mod for Binding of Isaac that has the soundtrack on Spotify. Like, it makes good D&D music.
Man.
But it's a mod for an indie game, and it's on Spotify. Lots of views. Very usable. None of the cool Nintendo orchestrations for Galaxy.
Yeah. Plus, like, I mean, there's so much Nintendo music. I mean, like, I could drive, like, listening to DKC music anytime. That is, like, my number one Nintendo music, is that funky jungle stuff.
Honestly, they could probably make their own music player as like a streaming service and be like, here's everything.
I'm surprised they haven't striked the restored versions that are on YouTube, because those are amazing. I love listening to those.
It's
Oh, where the person went into the file somehow, but
Yeah, so they took the
Made 'em-
assets and played it through a better sound chip. They played it as like they were originally recorded, kind of.
Oh,
yeah, I
Instead
know
of
what you're
being
talking
bit
about.
crushed down to 16-bit audio.
I'll have to look that up.
It's super good. I can send some links. But yeah, I think overall it's okay, minus the Galaxy 2 thing. I'm not really sure of that, and the DLC is not really feasible in its current state of a limited release.
Right.
They'll do it.
But yeah, launches on September 18th. That is let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days away from the time of this recording. By the time all of you lovely viewers will be watching it, it'll be down to 9 days. We'll be very close to that. So that's very exciting. I know all of us have pre-ordered it, ready for that day one. So you'll be hearing a lot of that from us in the coming weeks. Okay, well, way to spend 25 minutes on one topic. Good lord.
This one could be extended, though. I mean, it's special.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much
Yeah.
stuff to talk about. Plus, like, 35 years is insane. Like, I know everyone. The hype is real. Everyone's been itching and sweating for this for years.
Sorry to get off topic, but speaking of 35 years, how dare they show Super Mario Land in the Direct and be like, just look, no touch though for the Switch.
I was gonna bring that up earlier. All their level-based ones, the three, like the actual 3D ones, aren't part of the 3D All Stars.
Say that again?
Yes. Well, they count
'Cause-
Galaxy as a level-based one.
See, but that's
Like,
weird to count Galaxy is similar to Sunshine in 64, where there's multiple things in the same level, though.
Yeah, but when they released that chart for 3D World, they were like, or it was for Odyssey maybe, but they were like,
Yeah, it was for Odyssey, and
Yeah.
you're right. Which
they
is
were
still
like
weird.
64, Sunshine, and Odyssey, and Galaxy 2, and 3D World. I think maybe Land was also on that list, but I don't remember.
Now, hey, shout out to episode 1. Maybe they didn't do anything about the Game Boy ones because there's going to be Game Boy NSO.
Oh, that'd be
Ooh.
cool.
I'd be so happy.
Yeah, we talked about that the first episode, N64 and NSO. We're hoping, you know. Hey, if this 3D All Stars thing can happen, anything can happen.
Oh yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, let's try to move on. Super Mario 3D World from the Wii U has been ported with new content, the Bowser's Fury expansion, and 2 new amiibo, Cat Mario and Cat Peach, that look like they're made out of the carpet. I love them. I'm sure most of us do.
They're gonna
They're
be
available
great.
to pre-order now and come out on the 21st. I actually haven't looked much into the Bowser's Fury expansion. Does anyone know about? What's
I don't
in
think
it?
they've said a ton about
They've
it.
only
From what I've
said that.
seen, it's its own world.
Yeah, that's basically all they've said. I watched the direct right after waking up, so when I did, my mind read it as Bowser's Furry because of the game it was, and I was like, no, that's not right.
All right, we're gonna stop right there.
Moving on.
Oh, speaking of the Mario 35th, apparently back and during the Wii era, when it was Mario 25th, they had like a limited release with,
Of the All Stars back. That
And
is
a
true.
red Wii.
and they later on re-released the.
That is also true. It did not look as good. I think we might have that one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some stuff on it right now. This is the Screen Rant article for anyone listening. I'm seeing a screenshot that they showed, and it looks eerily like Breath of the Wild. Like it's like when it's dark and raining. Like there's a bunch of like
And staring
broken-
at a cave.
Or he's staring at a huge like black bell. It's been like like a super bell, but it's been enveloped in this black spiky stuff. But like all the stones around it are like broken and messed up, and there's like vines growing on stuff, and it's super stormy and dark and rainy. And we actually, you're right. They haven't really shown anything on it, so we don't know if it's just going to be like a little bit or like a lot of bit. If there's going to be like a whole new world. I hope it's a whole new world. I mean, most people will be expecting more than just like a one big boss fight or something like that.
I'm expecting like Captain Toad at the very least, where it's like its own thing, but it's like a harder version of the main campaign.
Dude, that Toad DLC's legit.
Plus, there's going to be online multiplayer, which
Yes.
was a big
They-
thing that
They
I'm
didn't
very
even
proud of.
talk about it in the direct, which is weird.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to see that. I'm excited to play that with you guys when it comes out. That'll
I'm
be
interested to see how many people can join from one Switch.
Let's see.
fun. I'm sure they'll keep the local multiplayer the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can do local and online at the same time.
That's what he was wondering.
Yeah.
If it is, I assume 2 people, like Mario.
Mario Kart. It'll be interesting.
Or it could always, but it could also be like Mario Maker 2, where there's only one person allowed. So
I don't want it to be like Mario Maker 2's online. Nintendo has some bad online, but Mario Maker, like, concept-wise, it's probably one of their better ideas. It's just the
So,
execution
yeah.
of the online is awful.
Great
I
in
know.
theory, but the implementation was
I mean,
more
even
than poor.
local. Grant, do you remember when we tried it after it released and we couldn't get it to play locally without it super hard lagging?
Yeah, that was. Well, were we playing with anyone online though, or was that strict local play?
It was the local option. I don't know if they still bumped us to, but it was either way. It was awful.
Yeah, it was absolutely garbage. That was. I don't know. You don't expect. I mean, Nintendo knows better than that. Like they're the ones that are so adamant about polish on their Mario games more than anything. You don't think? I mean, it's. I don't know, unexplainable. But yeah, that's exciting. I'm hoping it's a lot of good stuff. Do we know what the amiibo do?
They
Not yet.
have not said from what I've seen.
and with Amiibo, it could be literally
Oh
anything
my
from
gosh.
as useless as a special mushroom to
Locked
special.
content.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. You can now have like the wedding Mario next to the cat Mario.
Why is that awesome? Why?
I'm confused.
like the amiibo are cool. I get that, but like, why is that so?
Crap.
Why is
I
that
actually
the
have to
combination?
figure out the room for that because all my Mario amiibo are in a little cubby.
Cooper, you will
I don't know where to put
forever
this.
confuse me. I really don't get you.
I see. I thought he was going with wedding Mario next to Cat Peach, which would at least make some
Now that's
sense.
even worse. Okay, 'cause now I know what you're implying. This is a
No, but at
family
least there's
friendly
like
podcast.
there's a connection there. I don't understand wedding Mario and Cat Mario. Next
Okay.
he's gonna say Gold Mario.
All right. Before I seize,
Dude, Gold Mega Man next to cat Mario.
yeah. The cool thing about this amiibo is that you can put it next to any other amiibo.
It's almost like it's a collectible.
Okay. Well, I hope it's more than just like tap the amiibo to get a bell.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not pay to win.
Yeah, but
But it's not even that aspect. It's just that's really lame.
yeah. But also, you know, a lot of people were upset when how much content was locked behind the amiibo in the 3D.
Metroid,
The Metroid.
Which
amiibo.
wasn't even. It was just a harder difficulty, right? Or
No, it was also that's how you
with
could
the
ask.
music.
Yeah, the music mode was locked, and a harder difficulty where which essentially where the enemies were more damage spongy, was locked.
Okay. Well, I don't
Uh,
know. That's definitely going to be interesting how they do that because no matter what they do, someone's going to be upset.
That was the last
Yeah,
time.
either
they
the people who
made their
spent
amiibo
$15 or the people who won't spend $15.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Animal Crossing. People were pissed about that, and you can do all of those in game except for the special NPCs and the Sanrio posters.
Can't have DJ KK. Not worth it.
Well, all right. Like I said, that releases February 21st of next year. Pre-orders are now open for anyone itching for that. I've definitely got all that ready. I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I haven't pre-ordered the game because my card ends in January, but I've got the amiibo pre-ordered through PayPal.
nice.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm just glad they put some new content. I was kind of worried it was going to be a straight-up port.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
It's like Pikmin 3, where it's like, is there enough content to warrant this? There's enough content to warrant
It
this.
looks
probably.
substantial, unlike Tropical Freeze, where they were like, you can play as Funky Kong, who breaks the game.
Easy mode.
Pretty much.
$60, please.
$60.
I
This is
mean,
more than we
great.
originally charged. I think that's the thing. Pikmin 3, everyone's super pissed. This is way off topic. Pikmin 3 was a $60 release at launch, and everyone's judging it based on the Nintendo Selects version.
Basing it being out for 5 years and being $20 now.
If you
Yeah.
wanted it by now, buy the Wii U version. You'll miss out on content, but you won't save money either.
Yeah.
Just buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Well, rolling on with all the Mario junk. Mario Kart Live was announced October 16th, if I have that correct.
I'm so
looks
hyped for this
super-
thing.
I can't afford it,
It'd
but
be
it looks
cool at
super
your
cool.
parents' house, Grant.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of room there.
Yeah, lots of hardwood flooring.
I'm
Yeah.
picturing this as a big, expensive cat toy. just attach like one of those little squeaky mouse things to the back
Have
of
it hit
it.
the floor as you're running with it.
Yeah.
Mario 3D World plus Mario Kart.
I am kind
There
of
we go.
worried about the functionality of it though, because it's a really cool thing in theory, but this seems like the kind of thing that would be very hard to get exactly right.
I
Yeah.
wonder what the spacing is. I can't imagine it will be far. But you get 4 gates, so...
Yeah, I think in the video it showed.
It was like their whole living room.
Yeah.
But yeah, living
Well,
room.
yeah, but that was just in the living room. I think on their Switch screen there was like a signal bar, like signal bars.
Yeah, there is.
So I
and
think
also,
it's going to be dependent on
the
those.
screenshot they have on the homepage shows 5 laps, which makes me think that you'll be able to customize your lap count.
Yeah, and you can change up how the course looks based on...
So you can make
fact-
an even more insane baby park where you just race around a chair leg or something.
Are we gonna hit? Are these $100 toys gonna hit? Yes. Probably.
Probably.
She's now broken. Dude, I wish I had the money for both.
I hope they're durable enough.
Yeah,
Well, it's Nintendo. If they put the same kind of testing into these as they do the amiibo, it should be fine. And I would honestly hope they put more testing because they're
I mean, on
high
testing...
times the price.
They say on their site they drop it, like, I don't remember how many times, but they drop everything from like 10 feet to test it to make sure.
yeah, like this is certainly a kid product, so I'm sure they're making it durable in that aspect. I'm really excited to see this generation overall. Really, that how much Nintendo is like doing weird things like Ring Fit Adventure and like
We're back to
Labo.
like the...
Labo.
We're back to Nintendo has money, so it's weird time again.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like we can test the waters. Mostly Mario, but
But they're
We can
doing
test the
a
waters.
lot less like boring casual things like with the Wii and DS, where it's like, oh, now you can track
Ooh.
your heart rate with the Wiimote.
I
But
mean, you can
fair,
still do that with the
Nintendo-
Joy-Con.
Nintendo beats everybody. They still have like one of the best pedometers on the market, and this was 10 years ago when they released the Pokewalker.
yeah,
It's true.
Oh, that's
Uh,
interesting.
but they are still doing like stuff for casuals, but it's not boring. Like Ring Fit Adventure is a super casual person kind of game. Like hardcore gamers aren't itching for a workout game, but it's way more interesting than Wii Fit was. Like it's actual workouts. And you
Yeah,
don't
Wii Fit was...
There you go ahead.
Wii Fit was good. For
Wii Fit's got a lot of pretty good mini games, but there's a lot of bad mini games that
Yeah.
aren't fun too.
Plus,
And
it's just
also-
mini games. It's not like a story. It's not a video game.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
just.
And you also kind of had to hope that the Wii Balance board wasn't
Worked.
dirty.
Yeah.
If it stopped working,
Yeah, and it still worked better on. It's interesting. A lot of Nintendo's like ground things work better on hardwood floors because if you were on carpet, it would throw off the Wii
The
balance
feet,
board
yeah.
a little bit.
just enough. to
Now,
screw it up.
have they mentioned with these, like, did they function as a normal remote control car on
They
their
were-
own?
That's a good
I
question.
don't
They were
know, 'cause
driving
you
it
have-
on the screen with the Pro.
You have to get the software after you purchase it,
Dude.
which is weird.
Well, what I'm wondering that for is I would like to buy 2 of these. This would be very costly, but hopefully it would get a ton of views or something. Just have a demolition derby with
Yeah, it'd be
Really
interesting
test
to-
that
It'd be
durability.
interesting to see if they put additional packs out where you can like buy more gates or you can buy more like carts.
Characters would
I'm-
definitely be
yeah.
a thing they do.
I'm
Yeah.
interested to see if
And there's
it,
several I would like drop money on.
like, yeah, you'd buy a Toadette one. day one.
Exactly.
But yeah, it also comes with these arrow signs, so it looks like you might have to use those for like sharp turns, and like they might like if you make the distance like too long between the gates, you might have to put one of those to help with the software.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'm not really sure
Uh,
how it's.
It's
Dude,
definitely something I'm excited to get more details on.
Oh,
yeah, that'll be
So
really cool.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time left to get details on.
Dude, I really hope we get like a Mario Kart 9 though. Because like in one of the screenshots, it's Mario in one of his Odyssey outfits, like in the jungle one, with a chain chomp.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, maybe this is holding off
That's
the
Luigi.
inevitable.
They can't
Your
release
screen
another
touch is
full
Luigi.
release Mario Kart on the Switch, so they're like, but people
gonna
want
do
a
bunch
new
of other
Mario Kart.
ideas.
Yeah, they wanna squeeze out MK Deluxe just a little bit longer, just a little.
I mean, it's the best
It's
selling.
almost
It's hard
got
to be like,
30
we
million
should release.
sales.
It's hard to be like, we should release 9, which will hurt both of them. Then instead of just being like, okay,
That's
we could do
why-
tour on the phone and test some ideas, and we could do this idea we've had.
Yeah.
If they would just do DLC for it, we'd be okay.
And we'd all be
Just-
happy, but
I just want some more content. That's actual content. Battle mode is fine, but I've been on the same racetracks since 2015.
Yeah. Well, like Henry Ford in the Model T, you got to walk away from success at some point
Yeah.
Or die.
or die.
It's also a thing.
Well, yeah. Again, that comes out October 16th. Hope we do. We'll have to get some more details on that, I'm sure, before release. But it's very promising. I hope that turns out just as well. I hope it turns out better than Labo did in terms of sales. And yeah,
If it doesn't, I'm grabbing one at $50.
yeah. I'd like to see the clearance $20 at Walmart box.
Just-
I'd
These
snap.
are all mine now. I don't
They'll
care. if they're the same
definitely
characters.
go
I'm
on
racing with
clearance.
them now.
But the second they go on clearance, they'll be sold out everywhere for it,
Oh,
You'll have
yeah.
to time that just right.
right?
Okay, well, I got a little small thing. Classic Mario and Donkey Kong Jr. new characters coming to Mario Kart Tour. Are they already there, or are they coming?
When I last checked, when I was trying to enter that thing, they hadn't been added yet.
Okay. Cameron, you said Classic Mario is like the 3D 8-bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kind of like that style.
and so
Like-
is Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both kind of like that style of the 8-bit 3D amiibo,
Okay.
but not as blocky because I think they'll probably break the models a little bit, so they did look a bit more refined.
Mm-hmm. They look clean, dude.
All right.
Because
well,
I think
Yeah, that's them.
there was a side view, and it was their actual sides. It wasn't just like, oh, it's Game and Watch.
Yeah. I have no interest in Mario Kart Tour. I beta tested it.
It was
And
better in the beta.
It's just so boring, man. It's just so boring. I'm so used to shoving 200cc needles into my veins for the past several years trying to beat that now anything up below 150 is boring.
And that's what a Lotator is. I
One-
played a little at launch because it was big at university, but
Dude, below 150 is just not great. Like I did it when I got deluxe, so I could get all the locked content with the carts and stuff. But it's just
it's
Not as-
funny to put people on. It's who are like regularly play the 150 though, because they're like, I can see everything as I drive around.
it is kind of fun. It is kind of fun getting to pass all of the computers
Yeah,
instead
you
of
just
just
start lapping
the 1 in
people.
12.
You're so ready for
It's like, am I done yet?
yeah.
Am I done yet?
I mean, the cool
Fun
thing
to
about
play.
Mario Kart Tour is definitely the costumes, but like
Yeah, but just put them in the Switch.
exactly.
The last costume we got was Breath of the Wild Link, right?
I believe.
Yeah, it's
so.
a special added on, and his bike.
Yeah, I want more content for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah. Okay, before we dive into our usual Mario Kart rant, moving on, we got I'm really excited for this, the reproduction Game & Watch
Oh
for
yeah.
Mario Bros. November 13th. There is I don't know if it's still up. I saw it the other day on Amazon UK. There's a pre-order for it. I saw that link like 2 minutes after it went up, and I clicked on it, and it was already the #1 bestseller on Amazon. It had the badge.
It's gonna
And
be
there's a ton of useless functionality in it that but it would not be a Game & Watch without that useless functionality. It's got like a clock and stuff still, like they did in the 80s.
I am very interested in that.
Yeah, it can play Mario 1 and the Lost Levels, which is exciting. I've done a little bit of the Lost Levels, but true to its name, it is super difficult. So that would take me a while before I could ever beat that. It also comes with the slightly remade version of Game & Watch Ball, one of the original Game & Watch games, but instead of playing as Game & Watch, you play as Mario, or basically just Game & Watch with a Mario head on it.
An abomination.
Yeah, so it's they really try to sell you on the clock. Straight from Nintendo's website, when you're not saving the Mushroom Kingdom, check out the included digital clock. As time passes, one of 35 different animations may play, including some guest appearances from Mario's friends and foes.
See, this is where the casual watch pedometer stuff went. Like, yeah, we're getting an AR Mario Kart, but this is where it went.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, screw checking my phone for the time. You got the Game & Watch? Hey, does anyone have a Game & Watch on them? I need the time.
Dude, whip that out in public and just be like, oh no, I'm checking the time.
Yeah, you whip that out in the meeting. Like, are you playing Mario right now? No, I'm just checking the time.
I mean, I could,
I could.
but
yeah.
no, it's a clock first.
Oh dang, that's pretty good.
It's
Charging time is 3.5 hours, and it lives 8 hours.
3.5 hours to charge.
For 8 hours of play.
I can charge my Switch in that time.
Yeah, so it's like the Switch, but better. 'Cause you can
But
check the-
better.
No,
It's got
it's
the
more
clock.
like the
Why
Wii
better?
U.
This man.
I've never seen this little footnote that they have at the bottom of the official website. So there's not a ton of details for pre-order or anything yet, but they have this. This device has not been authorized as required by the rules of the Federal Communications Commission. This device is not and may not be offered for sale or lease, or sold or leased until authorization is obtained.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
how they did that.
I saw comments on Twitter about like, well, we're not going to get any pre-orders over here until it gets approved by the FCC. And I mean, I'm sure it will. It's a Mario Bros. Game & Watch with a clock in it. Like, what? I mean, we're not calling in
So
nukes.
The
We're
only
not-
reason it would
it's just odd that they're so excited to announce it before they have obtained that to a point where they have to say that they have not obtained that. That would be like I don't know, who makes plugs? Like Syntest or something being like, "Hey, we came up with this new power standard for a plug. We can't sell it yet technically because the government won't let us, but we have the idea and we're going to sell it next year."
Well, they probably had to go ahead and announce it because they were going to do it for Japan and us and Europe at the same time, and they've already got it cleared for everywhere else, but we are really good at taking a long time to do anything.
That's
So-
a valid point.
So, you know, that's just...
The only reason I could see it being delayed if there was some like real problem with like the battery or something.
If Nintendo can't figure out lithium-ion batteries by now, they just shouldn't be making this.
So it releases November 13th?
November 13th. It was £50 on Amazon UK, so it's probably going to be $50 here.
Man,
Yeah,
you were
it
talking
might
about the
be.
batteries, about the lithium-ion batteries. If the closer to 2020 is Game & Watch systems catching on fire like hoverboards, I don't know what to do.
Samsung Galaxy Note 7
Cry.
all over again.
It's kind of tiny. That's like my only issue with it.
I mean, just
That's
like a Game
because
& Watch is. Yeah, like it's not
yeah.
it's not ergonomic at all, but that's not the point. Is to like, this is not going to be your preferred way to play Super Mario Brothers. This is just
Yeah,
going
no,
to
Right.
it's gonna be my preferred
This is
way to
more
play.
a collector's item
be
for the
my
30th
preferred way to check the
anniversary.
time. There we go. Cooper's got it.
In class.
It's still bigger than the Game Boy Micro.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, I can't wait to carry that thing around all the time for absolutely no reason, and most likely barely ever play it. But
Here's
But-
the actual strategy. Get some flex tape and tape it to your wrist
Wait, but
so that it's
what
an actual watch.
if Flex Tape ruins the finish?
Get the Vault Boy Collector's Edition. And
Just
Uh,
release it.
well, yeah, super excited for that November 13th. Hopefully, it does get approved by the FCC before then. I will really worry for Nintendo's product control if they cannot manage to get that approved, but I'm sure
They
will.
can't get a watch through the U.S. government.
a watch they've made before.
All right,
Kinda like old.
more Mario stuff. Super Mario 35, the Battle Royale Super Mario, again, only for a limited time. Why?
I
Wow.
assume they don't want to dedicate the server space.
Yeah.
That's a
Wait,
good
server
point.
space.
Because battle royales in general are going to eat up some bandwidth, you know?
But I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
but
playing that as long as we can. It looks exciting.
Yeah, but
It
like
looks
when that
I'm
Super
gonna have a
Mario
year's worth of content of just that. Let's go.
when that random person made a battle royale of Mario, which was literally just 100 people playing the same map at the same time racing, that blew up. Like that was huge. There's no way like this won't be huge. Like
It is Mario after all.
and it's battle royale, and like if there's anything that's defined video games for the past year or two has been battle royales.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I totally understand why it's 35, but 35 is such a small amount of
But-
players.
Allows them to do the cool Tetris 99 stuff though a lot easier.
Yeah, so
Could you imagine
Sure.
getting hit if like all 100 players tried to hit you with all their enemies at
Oh my
once?
God.
I've seen Tetris screenshots of that, and I've always been like, please tell.
well,
They- I
any
don't-
listeners who haven't seen it's the Tetris 99 battle style where all 34 other players are on the side of your screen and you can either let the game decide for you based on certain criteria or you can personally pick someone, especially if you're playing with friends and you just really want to get on their nerves. Anytime you kill an enemy, it gets sent to whoever you have selected, no matter how you choose to select it. And yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fitting. I really just don't. The point of the servers is a good point, but if this is huge, like I'm expecting it to be based on the online thing that happened a couple years ago, then
Maybe they'll change it.
yeah, maybe they'll get it extended. Maybe they'll like in the beginning of March next year or something, be like, hey, surprise.
Like Splatfest.
Yeah, like
They're over,
Splatfest.
but
They're
here's
over.
3 more.
Oh, wait. Oh wait, we're in a pandemic. Here's our reason to stay home.
Yeah, well, they
Pretty
also
much.
weren't. They weren't clear enough when they said they were over. They weren't over. They just weren't monthly anymore.
They also Final Fest is for Splatoon 3. They basically said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just like the first one did.
Callie and Mari. That was.
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed that one.
Just gotta wait 7 years for Splatoon 3 to see how winning Team Chaos winning affects it. I really still wish it was Order that one though.
Yeah, that would be way more dystopian. I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Freaky.
and kind of original because everybody's like, "It's the end
Chaos.
of the world. It's chaos," and I'm like,
Great.
"Dang."
But what about a perfect world and you had to like that?
I don't know. I mean, like,
That
I
would've been-
agree. Like, I totally find that fascinating. But also, Splatoon's all about chaos in the first
Yeah.
place. So
Yeah.
now to have not only the game but the world you're immersed in be absolutely insane sounds fun. I'm sure it'll be good.
Either way would have worked really well.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo. I have faith in the Splatoon team.
Oh yeah.
One more thing, there's a set of Mario pins you can get through My Nintendo by completing a certain set of missions. There's 6 missions available. You have to do 5 of those missions, and one of those missions must be purchasing Super Mario 3D All-Stars either digitally, or if you get it physically, you have to register your cartridge through this
By claiming the code.
yeah,
or
you
the
have to,
point.
the gold points. I'm sure most of you know how to do that. So once you do that, you'll be able to qualify to get the pins. Now, we're not sure if you're going to have to pay for these pins, probably. But,
That's fast.
well, I mean, let's be real. But,
Yeah.
we don't know, and we will know once
Just the
game drops.
other one. It could be a contest.
Yeah, that
And
would
your entries-
really suck.
That would
Enter you into being the contest.
Well, they say like while supplies last, so it sounds like a first come first serve thing, which makes me think not a contest.
Hopefully,
Yeah, we can.
I'd rather pay than be put up for chance.
If I'm paying $60 for this, I better get some pins with it.
Real reason I'm getting the game is because I just want the pins.
All right, well, let's take a break for some Mario stuff and go into the weekly collector's corner. This is the session of the show where we go around and talk about things we've been playing this week and recent game pickups and stuff like that. All right, well, let's get in here first. I'll start with you, Mayo. What are you playing this week?
I'm trying to do that final push on Subnautica so that I can justify buying the DLC. I'm pretty close to the end of that. I've been doing a lot of board game stuff recently, a lot of get-togethers for that and for D&D. I'm hoping that I'm getting better at DMing, but we'll see.
We totally forgot to mention that last week on the mini presentation that Subnautica's coming to Switch. That's super awesome.
That is really good.
Yeah.
I hope that it runs well on it. There are some optimization issues on the PC version that people complain about sometimes.
Well, Subnautica is just real demanding. I mean, it's water.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm excited to see how it runs. I said that when I saw it.
I mean, a lot of games have been ported to the Switch, and then once they did, they went back and released a new update for the other consoles and Steam because they were like, well, we had to optimize it so much for the Switch. We might as well release this new refined version.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that happens. Luckily, they've been maintaining some updates for the base game. It's mainly updates for the DLC, but they'll change some stuff aesthetically. Like when I logged in this week for the first time in a while, med kits looked different for some reason. I don't know why, but now they're green.
Why? Healing is always red.
Apparently now it's
Or-
green.
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like those are the two more popular colors, but red's been like the thing in most recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Cameron, what are you playing this week?
So I beat Persona 5 Royal yesterday. Yes,
Round
yesterday.
of applause. Round of applause.
Yeah.
That is a very good game. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about it. You say game of the decade?
Well, this decade. I didn't play it last
Well,
decade, so
I'd
I don't
hope
know
so.
how that holds up. But
That's what came out. This version came out this decade.
it's. I expect it to probably be one of the best games I play all decade. It's very good.
I'm surprised to hear that. I know you've been like religiously playing it to beat it, but you never like said a lot of compliments about the game outright, so
Well,
I don't really know.
It's hard to say a lot of compliments because it's so spoiler heavy. Because it's one of the few games I feel like I've played more for the story than the gameplay. Because the gameplay is just more advanced Pokemon,
The gameplay's great. It's challenging.
which it is. Yeah, it's Pokemon but for adults.
Yeah.
Like, it's very fun. I
Have any idea
Actually,
what you're going to move on to now?
schoolwork. I'm gonna do schoolwork until the All Stars pack comes out.
Yeah, I'll drink to that. Well, okay. Cooper, what are you playing this week?
Nothing much really. I've just been playing a lot of Smash Bros.
Playing Smash
All about
Bros
that.
without us.
Dude, y'all want to
Heathen.
play?
Did you
Hey.
pick up those spirits before they disappeared?
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know how y'all managed to keep track of those spirits, man. That's insane
Twitter.
stuff. Yeah. All right, short and sweet. Alex, what you got?
I got to September in Persona 4 Golden. This morning, I guess. I was playing all night.
Oh my
Um,
god.
He is the embodiment of all night gamer.
So you play a calendar year?
Yeah.
Okay.
You start in April and you go till for the year. Or however long they define as year.
Okay. You still enjoying it a lot?
Yep, having a great time. I'm surprised by some of the cutscenes. They look great. But since the last one I played was 3, it's definitely like a huge change between those.
Yeah, I'm sure you jumping around like that has to be chaotic.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
went 5 Royal, 3 Festival, and 4 Golden. But I played a couple games in between.
Okay.
Man, that's like jumping Odyssey to 64 to Galaxy.
No, it'd be
Probably.
like Odyssey to Sunshine to 64.
To
Or
64.
Mm-mm.
to Sunshine. Or Galaxy.
There you go.
How many games are there?
Don't hurt yourself.
35.
No, there's not. There's like hundreds of Mario games depending on how you count.
Don't forget the CDI.
Nah, it's better if we
No
forget.
Mario is the best
Never
Mario
forget.
game.
Hotel Mario on the Switch will win.
Who plays games to learn stuff?
Children, which mentally I am, so
Let's
I
go.
might need it. Yeah. I guess I'll round out with me. I've been, like I said earlier, I'm trying out the remakes of Mario 1 and the Lost Levels on All Stars, which, again, I don't think I'll do any more of that. That was frustrating. But the Mario 3 remake of All Stars is the same one that they put on Game Boy Advance when they did the Mario Advance series of ports. And I played a mess ton of that as a child. So getting to play that again, but on a nicer screen and in a modern context is
Didn't
very...
the advanced add stuff?
Yeah, they added the e-reader levels, which were available on the Wii U eShop version. They included those. But it's the same art style and music that they used for the port. They used the All-Stars version, so the music sounds similar to the Game Boy one, and the visuals look very similar as well. So that's been a
That's good.
nostalgia trip for me, for sure. I kind of wish they put the Super Mario World version where they also did the updated visuals on that, because I do enjoy the way that looks as well. Although it is kind of pointless because Mario World is already on SNES Online. But regardless, it would be nice to see. All right, let's get to our last few things here. There is a new Splatfest coming, Mario-based, of course. Mushroom versus Star.
I'm a
Or
star.
more properly, it is which power up would you want? I actually don't know what the mushroom
Cameron,
is. Star is invincibility.
Cameron,
Giant mushroom,
The
right?
super mushroom, yeah, the one that makes you big boy.
Yeah.
Cameron, you want to be mushroom because you're short.
Hey, now
Bro.
no bullying on the podcast, guys. Let's go.
Bro. But he is a bully.
Cooper is a
Exactly.
bully. Listeners, don't be friends with Cooper.
Ouch.
Do we know when is that Splatfest?
That is sometime in January.
Okay, so not till next year.
Yeah.
We'll all be playing it.
Yeah, we will all be certainly in on that. We hope you already knew about this before us telling you, because there were shirts available for about 30 minutes.
If you
And,
are eating size bigger than large.
the Marina shirts are completely out of stock from what I'm seeing right now.
That makes sense. Between Pearl and Marina, she's the more popular.
Yeah. So the extra small is the only size available for the Pearl shirt, which is the
let's
Super Mushroom
go.
shirt. So if
Dude,
you're
I can
lucky
totally-
enough to be that small, jump on that, because I'm sure they'll be gone soon.
Look, I'm
Or you
using-
could always buy it and frame it, I guess, if you don't want to wear it.
True.
that is
How are you going to frame it though? It's two-sided.
buy two.
Cut it up.
Yeah, cut it in
You
half.
can't cut it up. There's stuff on the sleeves.
Buy
Cut it
two.
into more pieces.
They cut it
I
four.
can help you do this if you bought one.
So yeah, I hope you weren't trying to get those, because the site was broken pretty much the entire time they were up, and all of a sudden they just weren't up anymore. So they might put some more in there. Doubt, but possible.
Never know with Nintendo.
Yeah, they do look really good. Especially the Marina shirt. I really liked that one, the Invincibility shirt.
That's the wait. What? The
What?
Star's the one that's black shirt, right?
Yeah, that's
And the-
Marina, and the Super Mushroom is the white one for Pearl.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, it really
sorry to
looked-
disappoint you, listeners. But yeah, that was high and dry very shortly after their announcement.
And it was $30. Like
Yeah.
both shirts. Like
Are we really surprised Final Fest sold out like just as fast?
That's true.
Speaking of sold out things, not Mario Versus, Mario Cross Puma, the clothing brand, they have a crossover for some shoes, and the kid sizes are available, and,
let's go.
and the toddler sizes are also available. So if you are a toddler listening to this podcast, you might want to go grab those for $70. The regular size was $125. The junior size was $100. The little kids was $85. And the little kids and toddlers are still
I know,
available.
that's what shocked me that they sold out so fast.
It
They
does
were
not
crazy
shock me at all.
expensive.
People will pay any money for stuff like that.
People-
I paid like $80 for the Vans crossover with the NES. I still have those.
Right, but
Sneakerheads are a big money source right now.
Yeah, dude,
You don't
shoes
wear
is a-
them, right?
No, I do. I only wear them in the winter because I don't like wearing high top Vans with shorts. It's just kind of where some people do, you know. And if that's your thing, all power to you. But for me, I don't like wearing them unless I'm wearing like pants, and I refuse to wear jeans from April to October. So
Death.
yeah, but they do look nice. And I'm sure there will be a huge secondary market for that because the shoe market is incredible and has been for some time, really, with like the Jordans and stuff like that. I watched
Yeah, I knew that part.
I watched some stuff on YouTube about like people who would go to the conventions, like gun shows, but for shoes. Where there's just or
Ooh.
like a trying to think of like an expo, like a shoe expo,
Yeah.
and you just charge like you got all these kinds of
Whatever.
rare or limited release shoes that are selling for multiple hundreds of dollars. People carry around stacks in their hands. You know, it's an elitist thing, really, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah. I've seen that before, and I still don't care that much about a pair of shoes.
I'm starting to come around on some of the designs. Like, I think that the Puma ones are cool. There's Magic the Gathering ones that came out that I thought were really cool, but they sold out just as quick. And I think that the other companies that are starting to partner with the shoe companies to make these, they're starting to get the hang of designing cool-looking ones. But it is still a thing that's very hard to get into. I have a friend who is into it, and it's... We roast him for it some. It's just like... Of course, we spend money on stupid stuff too, but with his, it's just shoes on a shelf that he sometimes wears but is overprotective of. So it's just a whole.
Sounds like an
Shoes.
amiibo to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those aren't $60, $70, $80.
Yeah,
True,
they
but you
also-
can't wear amiibo.
Exactly.
I mean, you could, but
I was
don't.
about to
Let's
say,
not. Let's
watch
not.
your
guy.
eye.
There was a guy that did at, I think it was Comic-Con or E3, did several of the rare ones at the time. I wouldn't, but, you know,
All power to you.
I could.
Story time from 6 years ago. I remember my first job at a grocery store, and there was this guy who was just my age, and we would often work together. I'd be on register, and he'd be bagging groceries, and it would be lots of downtime. So we would talk about like video games, obviously, because that's the only thing I'm good at talking about. And he was on my side about the video games thing, but some of the other cashiers that were around, they were big on the shoe game, and that was still when it was kind of new, like when it was really hitting its first big stride. And we had that argument about it, like, well, like our stand was like, well, why would you spend all this money on shoes? And they're like, well, why would you spend all this money on video games? And I actually had a long thought about like it doesn't seem pointless to us, video games, but shoes seem pointless. But like to the other people, it's just vice versa. You know, it's all a matter of taste.
Mhm.
I mean, I get that, but I just wear shoes till they wear out.
Same here.
Yeah.
One
It
pair
is
can
kinda
last me, like,
weird.
a while.
We are all trying to talk at once. It is kind of weird thinking about trying to pay for those expensive shoes
And then you
at
got like
an entry-level job. That is a lot of hours.
yeah,
For
minimum wage job, and you're
I don't
buying all
know.
these shoes. Plus, you gotta like
With shoes. Sorry, go ahead.
you gotta like waddle walk, and like you can't wear it with any kind of bad weather. And like you got to be watching where you're walking, and you got to be flat-footed. You can't bend your foot too much. Like you got to just spend so much time thinking about the way you're walking because you don't want to hurt these shoes.
I don't know.
It's too much effort.
People like getting up super early just to grab like the new pair of whatevers. I don't know.
I can't say anything about that.
Hey, I remember getting up super early to stand in front of a GameStop for the stupid Duck Hunt amiibo.
You
3-pack.
didn't even get those.
I can't. I know. I changed my mind later, but the point is that I was there.
I definitely can't say anything. Wave 4 of Amiibo. Alex and I went to Target and got Jigglypuff, Robin, and Lucina. And there was people in line. They wanted two. They wanted Robin and Lucina because based on the previous ones, all the Fire Emblem were going to be rare. But they also wanted Jigglypuff. So both of them and that couple got Robin and Lucina, and Alex and I got either Robin and Jigglypuff or Lucina and Jigglypuff, and we traded one of the Jigglypuffs for Rosalina and Luma, which we had missed because the release date was majorly screwed on that.
But don't
Yeah, I
forget,
remember
ours
that.
like sold every single one like crazy. They were like, "Yeah, you can buy multiples."
Yeah, I think it was one of my coworkers when I was at Target. They said one guy had come in and got 8 of the Rosalinas. So, they're
Those are the people
everything
are the
sucked.
scum of the earth. They really are.
Mhm.
Like ruthless dictators and people who stomp on the poor, but people who buy 8 Rosalina and Lumas in the trash.
Top tier
Okay.
evil.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last story, folks. I promise we're getting there. It's been a really long thing. So much just Mario stuff, but we have one thing that is not Mario, and that is a new patent that was filed a couple years ago and recently discovered and hit the mainstream as a standalone Joy-Con. Now, this the article I have is from Nintendo Life. It is essentially a Joy-Con, but mirrored. There's no rail on the side where it's all rounded out. It looks like a candy bar, and the bumper and trigger wrap all the way around the top as like a cap. And recently has come into light because of the rumored Nintendo Switch Pro that we talked about last week. And yeah, I mean, it looks essentially just like a Joy-Con without the rail, but they don't show like a charging port on it. So I don't really know what that would be used for.
Oh, it doesn't have the plus and minus buttons either.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really don't know. I can't think of a good use for those.
Someone's reply is it would let Switch Lite owners play Joy-Con specific games.
Oh, yeah.
Still can't charge it though.
I don't know
Yeah,
how you
it would have to be wireless charging. Like an Apple Watch or something.
That'd be interesting.
I imagine that if they don't do that on their own, then it'll be like a third party.
Well, it already kind of is with what is it, Nintendo or what?
I don't know.
The little third-party controllers for like NES Online and SNES Online. And...
Oh, those are
Someone
not
will-
first. Those are not technically first party.
Well, yeah,
true.
the third
But-
party though.
They're right about someone doing it. I mean, when the Switch first came out, I know someone made a version for disabled people to be able to play it like one-handed.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's like 3D prints you can buy on Etsy, or even make it yourself. You can find the STL files where you like mount the Joy-Cons like side by side in an angled way, so you can have access to everything in a single hand. It's super clumsy and complicated, but if that's the only way you had, I mean, it would work.
Right.
I don't know, like, because especially if you do that and you don't include a wireless charger, that kind of sounds pointless, because now you have to spend all this extra money on a charger.
We'll have to keep an eye on that if they do any updates on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It boggles my mind. The thing for letting Switch Lite owners play is a good theory, but especially if they don't include a charger, there's no difference in just buying a Joy-Con and buying a charger on Amazon.
It's very possible they just didn't include the charging port on the concept design.
That's
like the
also
Pokemon
true,
Miner.
yeah.
Very
I mean,
tough.
we've seen like concept art for the original Switches, and it was crazy.
It was super far off.
Yeah, this could just be maybe just a thing they patented in case they come up with the idea for it, but in its current state they might just not use it at all. That's
Or just say it.
very probable.
Nintendo is very careful with their patents. I mean, how long were they fighting that company that said they made the Wiimotes first? Several years?
They did, and they lost to someone. Maybe not
Because it
the,
was in Texas.
but they took it back, and I believe they won.
Yeah, they
They
won. They
won.
won an appeal on it. Because I mean, it's obviously that Nintendo's going to win in the end. Like, you know, the story of the guy who like went to Nintendo and they're the only one to accept his technology of motion controls back in like the
Yeah.
early 2000s, and he had patents on it. So I'm not sure really that company was thinking just grabbing for cash, honestly.
It was
There
I
we go.
remember the that specifically was like the way those patents were set up was vague enough that there, with a good enough lawyer, you could convince people that we did this first.
Yeah, but like those people had to work a lot harder to get a good lawyer compared to Nintendo. Nintendo's got some beef lawyers.
Nintendo can
Man.
just
Mm-hmm.
don't go up against the Nintendo.
No, don't go up against a big company unless you like got a surefire win. Like you have to have an argument that could win with a bad lawyer. Because
And even then,
Yeah, look, if you can win with Lionel Hutz, you're good.
yeah, facts. So yeah, very interesting. Hopefully we do see something of that. I would be very fascinated to see if they come up with anything for that. Hopefully that it's not wireless charging. I think that that's just a bad idea for right now. But that's I think that's gonna wrap up our show here. We appreciate everyone for listening. Be sure to check us out on our Twitter handles that will be on the description on our page. We post every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, which might be changing soon. Anyone who's currently listening, we're currently debating that, maybe making that a more listener-friendly time. But yeah, we'll be here every week for the latest Nintendo discussions and news. Good to have you guys on here as always, and we will see you next week.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
So yeah.
I